Hello guys, so last session we discussed all about the extrude command, extrude function. So for this session, we're going to be focusing more on the loft command. So let's get started. Okay, so in this session, we'll be focusing more on the loft command. But before we even begin, let me just give you a brief definition of its function. So according to this, loft creates a 3D solid or surface in the space between several cross sections. So meaning to say, if you stack several shapes together and give each and every shape a corresponding height and trace it with loft, it will create that particular shape. What do I mean by that? Let me just give you an example. But before we do that, I'd like to change my view into realistic view, so you'll be able to appreciate more what loft command does. Okay, so I'll go back to home and then create square, dimensions T, give it 500 side. Okay, and then I'll create, let's say, a polygon, hexagon, and then I'll get that in the middle of this square. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just trace the midpoint, so I'll get the middle of the square. Okay, but yeah, that's the middle of this shape, and then inscribe inside the circle. What's the radius of the circle? Let's say, for example, 250 there. And then last but not the least, I'll create a circle still in the middle of a square. Okay, what's the diameter? Let's say 200 there. And then once you have created all of the shapes that you wanted to trace using the loft command, you can go to orbit and then play with this view, because you wanted to make it this way, so you can provide the following height each and every shape. So when you trace it with the loft command, it will create a solid object. So first, I'm going to move my hexagon. I selected the shape and then click on the move tool. And then before you even do that, just make sure that the polar tracking is set to 90 degrees. So that would certainly give you the straight line. Okay, so select on the shape, click on move, and then just move it upward. Let's say 1200. Okay, and then the circle, I wanted to move that in the middle of this, so I'm just going to select the circle shape and then click on the move command, and then just give it a height around 600. And then once done, you can just click on loft or type in loft here on the command line, and then trace all the cross section that you wanted to connect together. So I'm clicking on the square, the circle, and then the hexagon. And then once done, just click on enter and then click on select cross sections only, and that would give you the following shape. Okay, so you can also change the sequence of the objects that you wanted to trace. What do I mean by that? Let's go back, and I'll have to undo this, and then type in loft, and then I'm going to click on the square first, But this time, instead of clicking circle, I'm going to click on hexagon second. That's my second object. And then my last object will be circle. And that will give you a different shape, as you can see. Okay, click again cross section only, or type in C. And that there you have it. That's a different shape. So you can do that. You can use you can change the sequence of the objects that you wanted to trace, and that will give you a different shape. Okay, so this time let's try to make a more complicated shape, something that is not symmetrical, that Loft Command is not typically used on. So first off, I'm going to create a pathway. What do I mean by pathway? This is the guide, or this is the pathway that the Loft Command will follow when we try to trace two cross sections or two shapes or objects together. Okay, so I'm going to first create a pathway. So I've just selected line, and let's say 150, and then 300. And then what I wanted is, I wanted this to be more curvy. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select on fillet, or just type in that command in here, and then choose radius, or just click on or type on R, and then go to select 60, or just do 80 instead. And then select the two lines together, and then yeah, that's the pathway now that we're going to use for the Loft Command. But before we do that, these are three separate shapes or lines. So what we're going to do is, we're going to merge all of these lines together by typing in join. And then as you can see, we only have one polyline. So before doing that, change the perspective, change the view into a perspective view. And then the reason why we did that is, we wanted this to be on the upright position. So how are we going to do that? Select on the line or the object that we wanted to change into change the position. So and then click on 3D orbit, and then just click on the red line, and then follow a 90-degree angle, or whatever you have set on your polar tracking angle. So of course, since we want it to be on an upright position, we choose the 90-degree angle. Then after doing that, go back to top view, and then this time we're going to create a shape, rectangular shape, and connect this here. So let's try and do this, and then a circle here. Okay, go back to perspective, and then what we wanted to do is, we wanted to the center of this rectangle to be connected at the end point of this P line or polyline. So just click on the move tool, and then find the center of this rectangle by tracing those lines. And then once it is shown as the midpoint, click on that, and then move that there. Okay, same with the circle. So click on it, click on move tool, find the center of the circle there, move it on this line. But this time we wanted this to be on the upright position, so click on circle, click on 3D orbit, and then move the green, this time the green guide, and then of course choose the 90-degree to make it in an upright position. So once we have this shape, we can now click on Loft, or use the Loft command. Just type in Loft, or click on Loft on the toolbar here, and then select the two objects that we wanted to trace, or we wanted to join, and then hit on enter. But since we wanted it to create the shape based on a path, click on path this time, and then after clicking on path or typing on P, select the pathway that we wanted the loft to follow. And after doing that, you now have the following shape. Try to change 2D wireframe to realistic, will be presented with the following shape. Okay, so this time if you wanted to make this a hollow, you can actually do that. Just select this drop down and select on shell. Select the 3D solid object that you wanted to make a hollow object, and then select the face, of course, and this one, and then this one. Type in the distance. There. Okay. Now have a hollow shape. Okay, so that's it for us today. For our next session, we'll be talking about more on the revolve function. So please stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and bye.